Well, it's the first full week of January, and how cold it's got. It's been down as much as -3, and the weather is so gloomy, it's awful. I mean, fortunately, the rain stopped, but we've had a fair amount of snow and sleet and stuff, and again, got to get on with the jobs on the boat. Not the time to think about the boat, but at the same time, if they don't get done, there's no sailing this year. Well, 9th of January, Thursday. I thought I'd come and carry on some work with the boat as a lot of the parts have arrived now. But yeah, we've had a smashing of snow. It's now very icy. Not very good for working in, but most of it's inside. Well, the main thing is to find out whether it all fits, to be honest with you. So here we go. Start to work, Roy. Well, this is good. I asked for 22mm pipe, and I think, by the looks of it, they've sent me what is 22mm outer. That's not what I want, which is a bit of a pain because I waited a long time for that. Mind you, it gives me an excuse not to do anything today. I can show you these though. These are amazing. I got these for Christmas off my daughter, and they are really cool. I needed a work light, and these are really cool. These charge to the sunlight, and as you can see, it's charging already. And the lights are fantastic. It's a very bright light, and you can have it on dim or you can have it on cool, which is cool. And then you can be police, just roll up outside somebody's boat. They're really cool, so I'm quite pleased with those. I got the big one as well, mainly because I had a cracking one that I used all the time from Aldi, but unfortunately it works if you plug it in, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work when you take it off the mains, which is no good because I'm going to be working underneath all the floorboards. And the other thing I got, which I'm going to try, I don't know about you, but because being on a boat, I use the standard charging cables, and I found that I'm going through so many charging cables at the moment because the salt is getting to them and the casing on the phone, that I thought I'd get an induction charger, which works great at home at least, so we'll see how it works on the boat. And then of course I've got a massive extension one, so I can move my Wi-Fi, because as I say, the Wi-Fi is a bit of a problem at the moment where it's located, because it's only on a very short lead, and I've just put it there temporarily because the lead's very short from there. But now I've got a 5 meter, I think it is, 5 meter lead, so I can put that, and I can put it somewhere where it gets a decent signal most of the time. Yes, I think that's a reasonable place, so long as I can sort out the leaks on my windows. I don't think this one leaks now here, but if I put the Wi-Fi there, I can run this cable. This cable is well long enough to run back to the charging point. Whoops. And it should get a decent signal by the window. There's no reason why it shouldn't. So hopefully that'll be a good place to put it. I'm happy with that there. Yeah. So fix the wiring, which is a job for another day, because I've set aside a job a day when I'm going to do all the wiring, because obviously the hose pipe that I'm putting through and everything is going to be close to the wiring, so I need to make sure that that's secure and not touching the heat. So yeah, so all in all, it's not, I suppose it's not a disastrous day. It's not what I wanted. I certainly wanted to do a bit more work than that, but yeah, that's life as we know it. That'll do, donkey. I do have one job before I go back though, and that's to get, I'm putting a double throttle cable on here. I don't know whether it's going to work actually, but the only way to find out is have a go. I'm going to attach it and bolt it to this, which should work. But as I say, I don't know whether it will or not. And because I've got my super duper light, I thought, yeah, not what I wanted to do. Had a fair amount of work to do, but it is cold. I've got no heating, hence why I need to get the heater sorted. And the cable, the exhaust pipe is wrong, so I'll have to sort that out today. It's a good excuse, isn't it, to go home? Yeah, of course it is, right. Do that before you go home, freezing or not. And I did buy a smaller one previously, which I fitted, but it was like 4 inches too short. How bad is that? And the reason why that, I'd forgot, I measured it, but I forgot this needs a big curve, which took up a lot more space than I thought it would. So I didn't have to curve on it, because you can't bend these. Obviously, they need to be curved. They're not something. They need to be curved, and I can't bend it too much. And of course, I'd measured straight from the place, and I forgot that it's got to go in. So this section's got to go through where it's connecting. So there's at least 5 inches short there. Anyway, I've got a new one now, and it's time to put this in. Here, how empty that is. I should have filled that really, with all this cold weather, but I didn't. It's one of those that I have to do, and therefore it's an empty tank. I'm going to have to try and make sure there's no water in it when I come to run it. It'll take a lot of work. Small jobs done at the right time save a lot of work later. Yeah, the idea with this is to bolt this to here and then bolt it onto there. I'm hoping that will do the job. Time will tell. We'll see. I just found the guy who provided the hose, who was very helpful, and yes, they'll give me a refund. And he said, he asked what, he said it was off, and I said it's one of the Chinese ones. And he said, to be honest with you, my recommendation is to bin it. Now, I've heard this before, but some of the things he said do concern me a bit, really. he was saying that I said, oh well, I've replaced all the main bits which I was told that were dodgy. Don't use their silencer, don't use their fittings at all. Replace the fuel hose, use a proper certified fuel hose and container. Don't use their stuff at all. So I've replaced all that. Well, I had bits of that, to be fair, had bits of that. But the thing was, what he was saying is it's not just a question of all the fittings. He said the plastics inside can't take the heat they generate because they are very powerful. He said no question about it, they're very powerful heaters, but they can't take the heat. So they soon decay. The heat decays the plastic and you get particles put into the atmosphere which do eventually kill you, you know. And I thought, well, that's a reasonable argument against them, really. And you know, I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, I bought it, I used it, it was okay. But if that's what they're saying, and I'm wondering if anyone else has come across this, if it is, if they're so bad, why are they allowed to sell them? I know the Chinese imports, but they are cheap. They're very efficient. I've had mine going, and it's very efficient. But if they are giving out chemicals and particles, I wonder if any research has been done over it. If someone can let me know, I'd be pleased about that, because I am going to install it. I am going to get the right size tubing. And if somebody comes back to me and says, yes, these are lethal, the actual heater itself, the unit itself is lethal, then I'll think about just getting a heater, a Webasto or Eberspacher heater. But at the moment, you know, I've got no doubt to doubt this guy, although I am doubting him, I suppose, but I've got no doubt that he believes what he's telling me. But I could do with some real evidence, to be honest with you. So if you know anything about these heaters, and you know, and you have scientific evidence that says they are lethal, please let me know, because others need to know about it. Certainly, I know a few people who use them. Thank you. That's it for today, folks. It's bye from me, and it's bye from this kit. Today, after a week away in Anglesey, beautiful week in Anglesey, well, 4 days. It was unbelievable. Weather was superb, a bit like today, really. So the boat has been left, just waiting for parts to be delivered, because I had to exchange, if you saw last video, made a mistake with the size of pipe for the heater, etc, etc. So anyway, now fortunately the Butler Technic were great. They replaced it straight away and it arrived and it's ready to fit now. So hopefully we'll finally get this heater sorted. I'm not convinced that I'm going to be using it a lot, but anyway, it's there in an emergency. And as I say, I'm still waiting really for people's opinion on these Chinese heaters. As I say, I know a lot of them have fitted the vans who have no problems with them. Quite a lot of people fit them to boats, but I think they're not used as much. So we'll see anyway, and I'll certainly keep an eye on it and let people know how I get on with mine. But the main thing is to change all the fittings, because the fittings that they come with are not up to standard at all. Anyway, enough of that. And today is about getting this hose fitted. Although when I was on holiday, I got to thinking, because one of the things, I'll just show you how beautiful this is while the sun's still there. Absolutely beautiful today. Dead calm. Hardly any wind at all. Yeah, today it was going to be about fitting the hose and doing the heater. But then when I was on holiday, I got to thinking, and one of the things that I've had a lot of trouble with, as you know, I have a lot of trouble with most things, but this particular thing is always irritating to me, because on all my boats I've had locks like this one, and these are really good security locks. The problem I've had with them, this one doesn't quite fit right, and I never know why. You have to jiggle it in order to get it to fit properly. I think it's something to do with the door alignment or whatever, but anyway, I've always had problems with this particular lock. I fitted this because the one on it was a standard one up here, just up there, and it literally was just a little padlock. I know they're not very secure boats regardless. I mean, you know, if you want to get in this, you get in this anyway, and you can lever them off, and I know all that. But the thing I've always had a problem with, and it has been a problem for me, whether other people have suffered the same problem or not, is the fact that you lose a key, or in my case, so somebody the keys and they miss them and go overboard. So that's one of the problems. The other one is leaving the key in the lock once you've unlocked it, and then once I dropped it and that broke the key inside the lock, unfortunately it broke really way inside, so I couldn't even get it out. And that's the first time that's happened to me, but it did happen. And then the other thing is like, you get to the boat and you haven't got your keys, you know, and that is always an issue. So I got to thinking, what would make it a lot easier, and certainly a lot easier to get in the boat, for me, not for other people, but for me. And so I started thinking, and then because we were staying in a pub, it suddenly dawned on me, hotels, they use electronic locks. And I thought that'd be a great idea. Get an electronic lock and see if I can get one. So I'll just show you this now. Come off quite easily. Typical, isn't it? Normally that takes a while to come off, but it's off anyway. And so yeah, I thought, what could be better than just to walk up to your boat, or in fact, you know, because you can use your phone, although this one I'm not configuring for the phone for various reasons, but you can use your phone if you want to. And this one, of course, you can buy them for about 20 quid, I think. This one's still expensive because it is stainless steel, or so they say. Again, it's another product from China, which Chinesium rather than stainless steel, but it does look like stainless steel, to be fair. And the idea is to put this today, as well as get on with the other way. But there's the lock. And it's quite substantial, very, very heavy, very robust. And to lock it is simple as press my little fob. And there you go. Release. And that's it. So yeah, I'm hoping to see how that goes, because you know me and my gadgets, and I think this is great to come on board and just unlock it, to save getting your keys or whatever and searching for everything. I think it's going to be a real gem. So let's wait and see, but I'll show you when it's finished anyway. Yeah, that should be good. Well, I was just about to say, that's the fastest lock I've ever fitted. Close that up. Lock down there. And then locked. But not quite level. This needs to go up, even though it was measured. My measurements. It's just doesn't sit quite right there. But also when you open it, it catches. So it catches on this section here. So it's got to be a fair way back really. Yes, so although it was like less than 15 minutes to fit that, there's a lot of adjustments to make. Well, to be fair, only a little minor adjustments. But apart from that, all good. It's quite solid that as well. Pleased with that. There's the door over. Fits quite well. Great, happy with that. Yes. As I say, it only took about 10 minutes to fit the whole thing, and then a couple of adjustments. But apart from that, fine now. Great stuff. Totally enjoyed that. Yeah, that's great that. That really is good. And it's better than having all of this. Obviously I need to clear all that up, clean all that up. I'm pleased with that, very pleased with that. And of course, like everything I fit with my electronics, people will say, well, you know, what happens when the batteries go? What happens if you've got no electricity? Well, believe it or not, you can get in. And I'll just demonstrate that by putting that up there. You see, it is locked. And now, without the aid of a key, he's open. So it is possible to just open it, and it is that easy without the aid of a key. Without the aid of electric, that is. Time to go home now. I'm quite pleased with that. Sand all that down, clean all that up. We should be good to go. Yes. Nice one. Yeah, the same as the lock was. Okay, thank you for watching, people. And in the words of wise YouTubers, don't forget to leave a like, click the subscribe button and share. It will really help. Thank you very much for watching.